Dude, my name's Nev. It's nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, nice meeting you, Nev.
Yeah, thanks for joining us on the show. Especially, I don't know what time it is there. Like, is it?
Well, I'm currently in the Pacific Northwest, and it's about 2:50 p.m.
Oh, mate, beer o'clock.
In the past, you're in the future, so
Don't. There's something that's gonna happen. Don't. No, but buy
okay.
a lotto ticket.
Okay.
All right, I'll give you the
Just
lines. Go on.
after the interview, I need the winning lottery numbers for certain states of the United States.
All of them, but they're all win.
Well, I can't. You know what? If you give me all the winning lottery numbers to every state in the United States, then people are gonna think something's up, and then they'll fuck me over. So
Yeah,
only a few. We'll just pick a few different ones.
okay. Because I bought a lotto ticket last night, and I woke up and it was like, nah, I lost. So I'm no good to you, brother. But but anyway, man, Goatwhore are heading down to Australia with Eyehategod. Let me start that again. It's early here. Let me rewind.
Yeah, I know, I know. It's early for
I
y'all.
I get going in about 5 minutes. But Goatwhore are heading down under again with Eyehategod next month, and it's going to be a killer tour, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing.
First time for me seeing you guys.
Oh wow. Okay. It's because this will be our fourth time
Yeah.
in Australia.
Because you know it's one of those things where every time you've toured, I've been somewhere else, and it's forever
Yeah,
been
yeah.
that thing where it's like,
I get it. There's a lot going on, man. There's a lot of bands out there to go see. You can't,
no,
So
I mean like out of state or working, or you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a
Yes.
lot of things going on. A lot of stuff, personal life, a
Mm.
lot of music comes out, a lot of bands out there, a lot of work going on, different jobs. So yeah, I get it. I get it. I
I'm
know.
very keen.
I work a job when I'm not like on the road, so I fully understand, man.
What do you
There's a
do?
lot of shows I miss that I really want to see, but it happens.
Oh, it's and especially when it's like every time that I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I put it on the calendar. I put it on all the calendars. I'm like, this show, no one, universe, don't fuck with me. I have to go to this show because you're a band that I want to tick off my bucket list. You know?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
oh man.
yeah. No, I think it'd be great, man. Let's see. So we go back. The first time we were ever in Australia was with Behemoth and Job for a Cowboy.
Oh, what a tour.
All right, and that was when Behemoth and Job for a Cowboy were kind of like co-headlining. They would switch each night,
Yeah.
and then the second time was with Impiety from Singapore, pretty sure. And Ruins was on that tour too. Another Dave from Psychroptics bands. And then the third time actually was really unique because we were there for quite a while, like a 2.5 weeks or so, because we supported Psychroptic on their record release in 2015. It was like March 2015.
Mm.
So it's like 9 years since we've been to Australia. A little over 9 years at this point. So
And long overdue.
yeah, 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 yeah. We've had a lot of different things go on. I mean, we do have a gap of time from like 2020 to 2023 that we all like forgot about in a sense.
Doesn't exist. Doesn't even exist.
It's just like some kind of matrix thing. I don't know, some kind of anomaly. So we can't really count like 2 to 3 years, I guess. So
Yeah, yeah. That's right.
yeah,
But
yeah, but
man,
yeah, but no, we're stoked to be back, and definitely with our good buddies, Eyehategod, who we've last year we did 2 tours with them in the United States. Like one part of the year we did like the East Coast, and another part of the year we did the West Coast with them. And it's good. It's a little variation too. We're both offering something different, but we're both offering the New Orleans bad luck.
something about it though, dude. Like there is something about bands from NOLA that I don't know. There's a vibe, there's a sound. I know, like you vary in styles and stuff like that, but there's something that I just can't even put my finger on. You could probably explain what it is, but
Actually, I don't. I think it's just like the vibe of growing up in that city, and just like a subconscious influence of being around all the different kind of styles of music and stuff like that. But you know, Goatwhore 2 was always like this like little odd piece in the like New Orleans puzzle. You know, the new like
Yeah.
because you had like Eyehategod, Crowbar, Soylent Green, Acid Bath, and Down,
Mm.
all that kind of stuff. And Goatwhore kind of like was over here doing its own little like, well, we like old black metal style stuff, but we're gonna incorporate like what we are here, and then also use these little influences that we have. So we were always kind of like odd with that as well, but still part of the scene in a sense, almost like Black Sheep in a sense.
Yeah, but there's still a vibe about the whole thing. Like,
Yeah, no, there is. There's a vibe about like all those bands. There's an immense vibe. And like I said, I can't really put a finger on it except that maybe it's just the area and growing up with like the eclectic styles of music that are within the city
hmm.
and the state in general. So it gives it this whole different like feeling and vibe to it and everything like that. And also this, when you go to band like Eyehategod and Down and Crowbar, you do have like old rock and roll and old like early metal vibes that are in there. But then you start blending everything else into it, and then it gives you a whole different aspect as well.
And they seem like really good dudes too. They are,
Oh, I mean, all of them are great, man. They're all great. They're all each individually great human beings, and then as a whole, an immense human being. Yeah.
and you got a big tour with them later in the year too.
Oh
Over,
yeah, yeah. Actually, yes, we do. In December, we go to the UK and Ireland with them as well. So I guess we felt like, the shows we did back last year in the States went good. Let's just do these around like the globe for a little bit and see how things work out.
have you ever toured with a band like that before? You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of time.
Uh, No, I mean we've done tours with, we kind of look back and we look at bands that we toured a lot with, like if we look back, we toured with 1349 from Norway a bunch of times.
Yeah, yeah.
That was really unique. We kind of created a unique little bond with them, you know. And you remember a band, I mean they're still around. They're doing things now, but God forbid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we did a bunch of touring stuff back in the day with them too. Like we first met those guys when we toured with Gwar, and it was like Gwar, God forbid, and Goatwhore, and it was like 5 weeks or something. But then after that, we did a few tours with them. I mean, there's a bunch of bands that we do tours with, but I mean, those I remember like being on the road with them a lot. Like 1349, I was being on the road with them a good bit. In the U.S. in North America mainly. Not necessarily like in Europe or
Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So North America is like a different thing too. So it's like because everyone that's not from there, they see like bands playing like New York City, LA, Chicago, but then all of the in between, that's what really makes up the sum of North America is all of the in between, you know?
Man. Man, are you still mates with all those guys?
Huh?
Are you still mates with all those guys?
Yeah. I actually just saw I was up in Maryland Death Fest a couple of weeks back, and I was hanging out with the 1349 guys because they were playing one of the nights. But yeah, we still talk and everything. When we go through Norway, some of the guys come out to the show and stuff like that. So yeah, you kind of create bonds with other bands on tour, and then you have this like relationship, and you either cross paths again at some point, or you show up in their town and they come out, or they come into your town and you go out and see them. So it starts having to be like it's like a big nomad family,
Yeah.
you know, like gypsies or something like that, and everybody's just constantly on the move, going around, and then your paths intersect at certain points of time. Sometimes when they intersect, and sometimes they intersect out of nowhere.
Like at the airport at like, 6 in the morning.
Yeah, airport, or just you're in some town and they're passing through on a tour, and you're like, "Hey, I'm here tonight. I mean, I never realized y'all were playing." And they're like, "Well, come out, and we're gonna hang out." So
Oh
it
man.
gets like that. Bands create all these relationships together, and it's really cool.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. And there are bands that, write songs about darker subjects and the occult and from the angle of horror or fiction. And then there are other bands who, practice those. I guess they see it from a religious standpoint. Where do you see that? Like where do you stand on that? Do you write your lyrics from a fictional standpoint, or do you actually believe in some of those practices?
Well, I don't really practice any like sort of thing. I mean, I have my own like spiritual element that
Mm,
is, it's more of a, it's more of a thing of like peace and tranquility for myself. It has nothing to do with like outside beliefs or anything. And I'm really kind of open to a lot of different ideas. Like I always like to hear everyone's ideas and everything, but I've never like solidly placed my feet into an idea. And I've always felt like just being open and kind of moving along with things was a better aspect. And it also left me open to like all these different other people's like ideas and concepts. Because even if somebody's like has a belief, each person you meet with the belief system that's like close to that, it's still got like variances in it,
hmm
you know. So you learn like different little things and different little qualities. And so when I work on lyrics, it's a culmination of all of my intersections with people that I've come across that are either devout into something or their belief system in general, and then also personal aspects on how I perceived it and things that I've read and things like that. Because I'm really interested in like a lot of like darker aspects of life. So I
Yes.
delve into things and read things. Now, whether things are fictitious or not, I mean, that's all basis on an individual, you know. I I mean like horror and stuff like that, you know, you kind of incorporate things like that. So yes, you have that kind of angle as well. So I mean, because there's definitely like things of like horror movies and stuff that kind of intertwine and like the things that I write and aspects like that. And even like serial killer stuff and other ideas like that. So it's kind of like a blended idea of a whole bunch of things, you know? And then like, I mean, if you sat me down later with my lyrics and said, well, where did this line come from? I'd be like, fuck, I don't even know, you know? I just,
Yeah.
because I, it's all like each song through time is like that point in time, you know,
Yes.
and things that were like in my head, things that were influencing me at that time and all that kind of stuff. So every song is basically like a time capsule in a sense, even though I don't remember all the things within that time capsule, like where they came from, but they're pieces and parts, you know. And I'm sure like a little ADHD thrown into there because everything's all over the fucking place.
Oh,
So,
that's me. Yeah, I get it.
I mean, I feel like we all, you know, people, it's funny, people talk about like, you know, people being on spectrums or having these things. I think we're all on a motherfucking spectrum in some sort of way, and we just work around it and
Mm.
make it work on in our own means. And some people have better control over it than others, and it just, you know, the way it comes out. And I guess with whatever I have, I work it out within like lyrics and working on music or whatever, you know, and then just regular day life and how do I try to sift through it and, you know, and understand whatever everything's going on. But most of it's like just like that. But I don't have my feet planted in like one ideal, you know. I
Mm.
kind of, and but I take elements from all these different things, even newer ones that, you know, I come across in time because there's so much stuff going on out there and you come across so many different people that at any given point you'll come across somebody and they'll have this other system where you're like, wow, that's a really unique aspect. Let's hear about it. So I'm really open to hear about things, but I would never conform to any of them because that's just how I am. I'm kind of like
Mm.
on my own with stuff and I don't have a solid thing. And I don't judge people on if you want to believe in this, that's good. As long as we treat each other good, that's cool. You can believe in whatever you want to believe in. But as soon as you stand on that pedestal where your belief has to be what everyone has to do, that's the problem.
Mm. And that's why I guess you're raging against lyrically.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Mm.
pretty much.
But I guess, like in terms of those dark lyrics and going to those darker places to write them, the old saying, if you stare into the abyss stares back. Have you ever experienced something through that or channeling when you're in that space? I don't know how you view that as in your creative process, but have you ever
Um,
experienced something through that creative darkness, I guess?
uh, yeah, I mean, I guess you could. I guess there has been nothing I can really pinpoint
Hmm.
necessarily,
Yeah.
but through different things or like maybe doing a practice or something to try to see how something is or feel like the spiritual element of it, you know. Even, you know, partaking in whatever, alcohol or some kind of psychedelic or something like that, and it brings you to a different plane or different mindset that opens up another gateway to something else, you know. Whatever, I mean, even, you know, you can go to the point of even like pushing yourself to a limit of like exhaustion, and that's sort of some kind of spiritual like ascent in some sort of way as well. So you would get some kind of like knowledge or some kind of like epiphany from that. So there's like different elements of things maybe in life that have like kind of subconsciously worked their way through to like lyrics and stuff like that and my ideas, but nothing that I let like reach out too far or go too far in a sense, you know, and nothing too that would impede on people around me as well.
Yeah.
It's all an individual basis thing. You know, that's, I feel like people that are really, really into like a religious concept or a concept like too overly is just, it's all individual based. So you should never like force out of that, because we're all individuals and we all have different concepts of things. So once that's forced and that idea is forced on someone else, then it starts to change things, and the person's not allowed to be in their whole like individual element and kind of evolve into what they need to be or what they need to become or anything like that.
It's all about learning. Hey, like it's all
Yeah,
about.
yeah. I mean, I'm still learning when I do things. You know, I'm still running across things and finding out new stuff. I'm always on the quest for something new. You know, because
Yeah.
I don't, especially as you age and you're doing this kind of stuff, you want to be able to still have that young feeling element of like, oh, here we go, we're on this plateau and this is where we're at. I still want to keep climbing. I still want things to evolve and like my ideas and me as a person to evolve. I don't want to be stuck in some mediocre like plane. I want things to be like, wow. I still want to have the wow. I still want to play a show and have butterflies, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
Like I still want to be able to get on stage and be like, it feels like I'm getting on the stage for the first time again. And that's the thing. Like I still, at every show, I still have that like little anxiety, weird feeling. And I was like, this is why I still do this, because I still have this feeling. Because if I didn't have this feeling, I don't think it would be proper to stay in it.
It's the best, man. If you could bottle that shit, you'd be a millionaire. It's better
Oh
than
yeah.
man. I know, like it, even I get that. And you get that.
Man, you got all kinds of cool shit. I got to change my whole background element here. I'm failing dramatically.
I call I call this the bane of my wife's existence. I'm a 40-year-old virgin who's got kids, but you know, one of those guys. You know.
No, I mean it's great. It's great. I'm just saying, I have like no. You know what? Yours is better too, because with mine, AI can pull me out and put me into anything at once. And with you, it's like, wait a second, it's got all these fucking elements going on, so we can't pull. But for me, they could turn me into something really bad if they really wanted to.
Don't say that out loud. They're listening. They'll.
They're always listening. It doesn't matter anymore.
I know, it's true. It is so true. It's weird because now I'm going to have like all that stuff on my phone pop ups. That weird thing, you'll say something and you go, I said that once and now I've got a million ads for some shit. Yeah. Like, you hear that?
So but, now I'm gonna have a million like toy ads on my phone. So
you will. Hey, yeah. And you'll be like that.
Dude, don't get me wrong. I've got a store unit full of toys from since I was a kid.
Oh, really?
Like my original like Star Wars collection, G.I. Joe shit. But then later on, I collected things like that are still like on cards or in boxes, and I just have a storage unit full of all this stuff, like comic books, toys, baseball cards, old music stuff like vinyl and stuff like that. It's a lot of stuff, and everybody wants the key, and I've hidden the key.
Man, I'm all about that stuff, hey. Like as you can tell. But metal and nerdy shit.
That's why I'm admiring like that, and then I'm looking at this, and I'm like, yeah, man. I feel like I'm in a doctor's office, and I'm actually like trying to like dissect you or something.
No, I get it. I often when I jump in, I see people go like that. They go, oh yeah, what's that? Oh, is that Eddie Van Halen? Yeah, gotta have Eddie. They go, yeah, it's skeletal. But yeah, I'm all about it. Keeps me young. But hey man, I guess we're running out of time, but I need to know, are you guys working on new music, new album? What's on
Yeah, well, so back in March, we got together and we were going through some stuff, throwing around some ideas and everything. I mean, we're still kind of in that like angels hung from the arches of heaven cycle. Like it's a little over a year. It's probably like maybe a year and a half or something like that. So we're still in the cycle of like doing stuff with that. You know, we did a bunch of tours. We did a tour last year. Going into this year, we kind of slowed up, and that's why we got together and started working on some new things. But then we're gonna start, you know, doing and yeah, those. I mean, we got Australia, and then right after Australia, we got a full like it's a month and a half tour in North America with Vitriol and Necrofire and Thanafaxith and Heraklion, and then we do the Eyehategod thing in England. So yeah, we got a pretty busy schedule, but yeah, your question, we have been working on some new things, but it's still kind of like infant stages and getting everything together because we're still kind of focused on this one right now.
And what a fucking album.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
It's so good. Like,
thank you.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love it. And of course, I'm going to see you guys in Brisbane finally.
Awesome.
It's on
fingers crossed, right? Fingers crossed.
I'm like
knocking on wood.
I will. I don't care. Like, yeah, I will be there. I can't wait to finally see you guys. It's going to be incredible. But in the meantime, dude, thanks for hanging out.
No problem. Thank you. We appreciate it big time, man. I appreciate it. We appreciate it. And we're stoked to be seeing you in July.
Next month, dude. Next month.
We'll
have a beer. Yeah, man. We'll have a beer and talk more action figures. But in the meantime, I'll have all the links in the show notes on the website. Ben, enjoy your day. And we'll see you soon, brother.
Thank you. Thank you very much, man.
See you, man.